Okay, so this is video 2, parenting and on and off. Oh, I should have mentioned, this is video 2 of like the extra articles. So, parenting and on and off relationships, the link between relationship churning and father involvement. This is the literature review section. Parenting is intertwined with romantic relationships. Even though there is a high frequency of childbearing outside of romantic relationships or of marriage, parenting is intertwined with having a romantic relationship, right? And relationships are usually treated as dichotomous when you're looking at previous literature. They're typically viewed as dichotomous, meaning they're either broken up or together. There's not a lot of gray area. But that completely ignores the fact that more than 1 in 6 urban children experience parental churning. Father involvement typically declines after a union is dissolved. But family theory suggests that relationship churning may be connected to higher levels of father involvement, because when the parents get back together, the dad's going to come back into the child's life. Yet there will be distinctive patterns to the involvement, which can create disruption to the family system. Churning may also erode the quality of the parental relationship, because they're never really sure if he's actually going to be there. But churning slows the process of the father actually leaving, because since he's in an on again off again relationship with the mother, he's not really as likely to get into a new relationship, and neither is the mother. And if they keep on going back to each other, and they're not getting new partners, and new partners typically is what takes the father involvement away. So yeah, it's kind of protecting the relationship in a sense, right? And then churning can also stem from economic issues. So if you're financially unstable and you kind of need the other person, you have an economic dependence on the other person, that can lead to churning and reconciliations. The family systems theory. Oh, I'm so sorry. Father involvement is associated with the child's well-being, and the family systems theory suggests that the association between relationship churning and father involvement may result from the wavering parent relationship quality, as fathers are more likely to be involved when fathers and mothers are getting along. So the relationship with the kid's gonna be at harm because the parents are fighting or whatever, because if they're breaking up and getting back together, there's clearly some sort of obstacle or something stopping them from being together in the first place, right? Stably being together, of course. The idea that fathers, parenting, and partnership are part of a package deal, with the former dependent on the latter. So everybody's kind of everything depends on each other. So if you don't have a good relationship with the mom, then the relationship with the kids is going to be strange, because the parenting isn't there. Because parenting just comes as a package deal with relationships, right? And as father involvement among churners is significantly higher for those who are separated, but not significantly different than for stably cohabiting parents, because even if you're broken up, if you live together, you're still going to be involved in the kid's life, just like the churning father is going to be involved in the kid's life whenever he kind of is brought back into it, if that makes sense. And another possibility is that the association between the relationship churning and the father involvement results from a demographic or socioeconomic characteristics of churners. Since we're looking at urban children and lower socioeconomic class, maybe that has to do with it, the lack of economic independence has to do with the whole churning and how involved the father is on the child's life. Now we're moving on to the methodology. So our participants were taken from a greater longitudinal study done by the Fragile Families Well-Being, and it was 3/5 of the sample's baseline. Relationship churning is measured by direct and indirect reports of churning between the baseline and 5-year survey, because it was the Fragile Family Survey basically when they got interviewed when the kid was born, the mother and the father, then they got interviewed at the kid's 1-year birthday, and then at the kid's 5 and 9-year-old birthday. So yeah, that's what they're talking about there. Father involvement includes contact, shared responsibility in parenting, and cooperation in parenting. First, a binary variable indicates the mother reports the father saw the focal child at past 30 days. Second, the shared responsibility in parenting is an average of mother responses to statements about how often the father does things for the child. Third, cooperation in parenting is an average of the mother's responses. And then it went through a 4-stage analytical process, the first of which being descriptive statistics of the father's involvement, logistic regression of the mother's reported father involvement, association between churning and father involvement, and the effect of residential status on the relationship. So that was the methodology. Then we move on to the results. The fathers who experienced relationship churning with their children's mothers were more likely to remain involved in the fathers in the relationships than the dissolved ones. Because if you're dissolved, you don't really want to see the mother anymore, so you don't really, like, I don't mean to be rude, but, like, if you don't want to see the mom, you're not really going to want to see that family, and you're not going to be in touch with your kids like that, and that's kind of sad, but whatever. Churning fathers are less likely to be involved with their children than those that were stably together, but that's just because churning, you're going in and out of the life, you know? And the instability from parental relationship transitions matters, but so does the introduction of a new partner, because a new partner is also another stressful event for the child. You get me? Churning could have had a protective effect on the relationship quality and slow the speed of repartnering and subsequent childbearing, thereby like mitigating the key factors that prohibit father involvement as the child grows older, if that makes sense. The differences in father involvement are most notable in the non-residential couples, and churning is associated with higher levels of father involvement, which is just it's a good thing. Like, they're broken up and he's still really involved in the kid's life, and that's not, like, you get me? Heightened parenting stress, therefore, could be due to the fact that more intensive parenting efforts are occurring in the context of a more ambiguous and volatile package deal. So basically, it ends by saying the parenting stress that it happens in these relationships, like in these parental churning things, is from the mother and father's relationship, not so much the father's involvement with the kids, and it's not so much a kids thing, just since the parents have a more ambiguous, volatile, like tumultuous relationship, it just like it kind of makes things harder. And yeah, that was video 2 of my like extra videos.